Matt, Stevenage this weekend. Obviously, there's been concern over a number of players injury-wise. Let's start with Kyle Taylor. Obviously, he's had the diagnosis through after that injury. What can you tell us about Kyle?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, he's ruptured his cruciate knee ligament. There's damage to his medial knee ligament as well as both cartilages on either side. There's also a damage to the bone head as well. So a full house, I'm afraid, in terms of that impact and that incident and that moment at Oldham last weekend. He will undergo surgery for the first time on Monday. The extent of that surgery is still unknown until the surgeon goes into the knee and opens it up and has a direct look at it. Hopefully, he'll only have one operation, but the likelihood is that he might require 2 operations. And then that would mean the second operation would actually to fix the cruciate knee ligament, and the first one might be to clean the knee up and improve that bone damage, which has happened, I'm afraid.
Obviously, that's some months for Kyle that he'll be unavailable. But obviously, within the football club, the support is there for him rehab-wise, and perhaps just emotional support as well, because that can't be an easy thing to go through.
Really difficult, really difficult. The highs and lows of football. You score your goal, you're playing pretty well, and you pick up an injury like that. It's the way football can go sometimes. You can never predict when it's going to happen. All you can do is react accordingly. And as you've touched upon there, we're going to support Kyle as best we possibly can. The time frame will be quite a long period of time. We've just got to make sure physically he's in a good position, and like you touched upon there, mentally as well. And he's got to help himself through it. He's got to find different hobbies and distractions other than just improving that knee injury. But he's got a long stint probably away from physical activity and physical activity in relation to football. So hopefully we can guide him through the initial moments, which is surgery straight away. He'll have his feet up for a period of time, and then we assess it if he needs a secondary operation as well. Hopefully we'll see him around the training ground and at the stadium before now and the end of the season. And then he's got a period of time where we're not at a training ground, and he'll still have to do his rehab and occupy himself. And then we will support him all the way through next season. And we're already looking forward to the moment he's back out on that training pitch with the rest of the players and back out on the park.
Pierce Sweeney and Tim Dieng are available on Tuesday for different reasons. Can we expect either of those pair to be back on Saturday?
We hope Pierce will be available. We hope and we think it was a 24, 40-hour sickness bug. We hope he's not passed it on to anyone. He was under the weather. We'll assess how much he's taken out of him when we see him tomorrow, but we hope he's available. And then Tim has done a little bit of on-feet work today. We'll assess him again tomorrow. A week's a short period of time when he came off at half-time with that hamstring complaint against Oldham. So there might be a bit of risk involved if we did use Tim on Saturday, but you want your better players available. So we'll try and make sensible decisions going into the weekend. And there were some other players who felt a little bit under the weather on Tuesday night, and that was a physical game which would have took a lot out of him regardless of illness, and we hope it hasn't affected him too much.
Obviously, it's been a trying week physically for the players, but 4 points on the road. You must have been really pleased with the attitude and the endeavour and the response from the players, and also from Callum Rowe as well, because he was chucked right in there and performed excellently on Tuesday.
Yeah, probably Callum typified what we're about this season. He's had a lot of time, not on the sidelines, but either out on loan and not being involved with the first team squad. He's trained fantastically well on a daily basis. He's had a frustrating recent period of time out on loan where he's not even been playing at Bath City. So for him to come in and be able to play 90 minutes of that intensity and that context of game, it was a big game of football, a physical game of football and a good game of football with 2 good teams. And for him to perform the way he did I'm pleased for Callum first and foremost. But if anything typified the environment we've got this season, it was probably his performance. But now he's got an opportunity to remain with us from now until the end of the season and keep on producing. He's got the shirt at the moment. Hopefully he'll keep that shirt and keep on performing well. And obviously with the examples we've spoke about with Kyle's injury and now Nigel's suspension and Tim's hamstring complaint, not to mention Harry Kite's groin as well, we're a little bit short in the middle of the park. So for the fact that Callum can come in and fit that position straight away and perform well is a real plus for myself and the squad.
Moving on to the opponents then, Stevenage. We're probably facing a very different Stevenage side to one we expected to a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, Steve Evans has replaced Paul Tisdale. And at this level, there's not many more experienced managers than Steve Evans.
Huge amounts of experience, know-how, understanding of what's needed to get his team in the right position and to get them to play in the way he wants them to, and to play winning football. He's got an incredible record, absolutely incredible record, the promotions he's had and the clubs he's managed. So they've got an experienced manager at the helm. We can't affect what's happened at Stevenage over the last couple of weeks, whether that's the manager departure and a new manager coming in, or their COVID situation or their injury situation. I think everyone's having it pretty rough at the moment. Port Vale couldn't fulfil their bench on Tuesday night, and they've got a big squad as well. So it's across the board in terms of all clubs at lower league level. All we can do is make sure we put an energetic team in front of Stevenage, and an energetic team with a little bit of skill as well. We're at home. The onus will be on ourselves to make the running in the game, put the opposition under pressure. We'll need the fans to pull us through and to support us all the way through. But it's a game we have to look forward to. 9 games left this season, 5 of which are at home. Hopefully it'll be a really good atmosphere.
And obviously some familiar faces in that Stevenage side. Jamie Reid, Christy Pym, and of course your former captain, Jake Taylor's back for the first time. I'm sure it'll be a strange experience for Jake. But
It'd be strange. I hope he gets a fantastic reception. I really do. What an incredible servant for this football club, but a servant who added skill and purpose to everything we did, everything we were trying to do in terms of building the environment, and then on the pitch as well. A top player at this level, and obviously he made the move to Stevenage in the off season, and we wanted to support him through that, and we wanted to see him do well. It's probably been a frustrating season for Jake, but I really hope he gets a fantastic reception, not just from myself and from his former teammates, but from the fans as well. And the same for Christy, academy graduate who came through and stayed with ourselves for a long period of time and got a lot of games under his belt, and then went on to play League One and then Championship football. And for whatever reason, he's back playing at this level, but I'm sure he'll go back to where he should be, which is at close to the top level of English football. So a couple of fantastic individuals, a couple of fantastic people first and foremost. And then you've just mentioned Jamie Reid as well. I probably missed him in my time coming back to the club and working with him directly, but whenever I've ever come across him, I've not only been impressed with his playing capacity, but him as a bloke as well. So some familiar faces. We want them to do so well. We want them to stay in the league, but we just don't want that to happen this weekend.
And finally, some of the academy lads, an excellent performance last night at Tavistock in the Devon Bowl to make the final. I imagine you're really impressed with some of the performances last night, especially a couple of the goals.
Some really good goals. Look, I think they had to improve probably where they were in the first half. Look, there's a way we want to play football at Exeter, and the academy quickly need to figure out how they can get the young players in that mindset. It's not as much ability in terms of the academy age groups. It's all about their mindset, their will, their desire, their fitness. They've got to have the capabilities to play in a similar fashion to what the first team try and play. They'll be full of mistakes, but that endeavour and that will can't be underestimated. And it probably took them till half-time to get going in terms of their real focus last night, and they saw the rewards for it in the second half. And now they've got a cup final to look forward to, and we will support them through it. And it's good also for the players to get that experience against men in a physical game of football, but also a game with a little bit of pressure. No one ever wants to get beaten in a semi-final, and now they've got a cup final to prepare for and look forward to.